All right. Before I get to going on anything else, there are spoilers here. I will put up a banner in a little bit. If you don't want spoilers, there's going to be spoilers. So there's that right off the rip. Now, the 3 Loud Podcast is on that go shit with another one of those movie joints. Tonight we got a banger for you with the Venom Last Dance. So, and before we get started, we're going to fucking introduce you to the people on the panel. So Marcos, go ahead.
Hello, my name is Marcos. I'm from M3 Reviews. That's all I got. Cheers, everybody.
Yes, cheers. What's everybody drinking tonight? I got beer and liquid marijuana.
Nice.
All right, so Kurt, hit him off. Let them know where you're at, what you do, what the fuck you want to tell them.
Hey, my name's Curtis. I go by Sergeant Curtis Schultz on YouTube. Usually do like movie reviews, some toy reviews, some just talking shit stuff. That's about it that I do on my channel, not a whole lot. But yeah, excited to talk about this movie. I really liked it. I thought it was the best out of the 3, but
ooh, he's giving it away already. Ooh, hold it a little bit. Hold it a little bit, son.
Sorry. My bad.
That's all right. That's all right. Go ahead. I call him Ben, but and some toys. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's right. I'm Ben. Sometimes I do podcasts with Jay and stuff like that. He knows me locally. We do a lot of toy stuff, so that's about it. Yeah, that's it.
We are in the toy life. I do toy shows, and you work in a toy store here in Oklahoma City, Action Comics.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, nice.
So if you're in the city, go visit Action Comics. It's between 10th Street and it's on Portland between 10th Street and 23rd Street. Yes. Anything you want to tell people about the store?
We sell comics and action figures and video games. I mean, we do a little bit of everything, but if you're looking for a big place and you're in Oklahoma, what do you think, Jay? Do we probably have one of the bigger stores besides Vintage Toy Mall?
Vintage Toy Mall. So Vintage Toy Mall is in Jinx, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
We're located in Oklahoma City, right? But you guys do have a large store. Yeah, go ahead.
It's huge.
Definitely large.
Yeah, it's probably like, I don't know, close to the size of a Ross. So.
Oh, wow. For sure?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
Okay, do you have... Okay, so I'll stop. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go
ahead. Yeah.
Hey, first, shout out. We're missing Moto Viper and Bullwinkle 80, so they're not here tonight because they didn't watch the movie. So what's up, Rob 78, DFS, and ex Daredevil? How you doing, man? Sorry to leave you guys out for a second.
What's up, Rob?
There's a place about the size of Ross over in Sacramento. Sacramento for me is about 45 minutes away, and you walk in and everything, records, comics, games like Nintendo games, all the Xboxes and shit, old shit, and then statues, figures, apparel, T-shirts, clothes, and it's just all across the board. Everything. Is yours all mixed up, or is it like this is the comic book section, this is the fucking this is the this?
I'd say it's mixed up, but there's definitely like a section where you're like, okay, well, that's Hot Wheels, that's Star Trek, and stuff like that. But with a store that big, I mean, like we get in stuff all the time, so it's kind of hard to have just this is where Star Wars is at. You know what I mean?
Okay, cool. Yeah. I don't mind the places that are mixed in because usually they are. There's not any rhyme or reason, but it really makes you go through the whole store 4 times. It's a 4-hour job. You go through it once, and every time I go through it, I'm like, I didn't see that. I didn't see, you know what I mean? That's cool, man. Good store. That's big, dude. It's great. Good for you.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do go to Action Comics in the city and in Oklahoma because your boss, Jason, who owns a store, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's really good with customers, so, and I'm not saying he doesn't give anything away, right? But he will cut deals, card versus cash type deals. So that's a great freaking service to have.
We try to be reasonable with people,
That's awesome.
As reasonable as you can be with people. With people is the key word.
Let's not be reasonable here, okay?
Oh my gosh, today was an unreasonable day.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do politics today. So, but anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Today was not fun with that. But everybody get along. Fuck it. That's what needs to happen.
Today was a blast for me.
Yes, it was awesome. I think they call it Trump Day or something like that.
Is it Trump Day?
Happy Trump Day.
I will say with the store, I'm kind of looking forward to it because like the past 4 years for any brick and mortar store probably have been complete shit. Yeah, I don't know how things are going for the next 4 years, but hopefully with small businesses and stuff like that, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it's good for them. I mean,
yeah, I think we wait the first year to really start feeling it. But I was telling my wife because she's in real estate, and real estate just took a dive. I swear on everything. There's no coincidence. Once Biden took office, real estate went fuck. And my wife was selling home after home after home. Interest rates were 2.5%. You could lock in. People were wanting to buy, and sell. And once Biden took office, she actually had to get another job. She started working at a real popular bar, so she's happy and she's well taken care of with financially. But the real estate, I told her, I said, wow, now that Trump's back in, I watched the stock market climb, watch the interest rates drop, and the inflation, because the one or two, even if one war stops, inflation will drop by like 8%. So and all the people that want to refinance because they bought a house at 7 to 8%, now they're going to want to refinance back to 2 or 3%. So all the lenders are going to get fucking a lot of business. Real estate's going to go back. That's my little, but it's going to be about a year. It's going to take about the year. So it's just the policy.
What about toys? M3. What's going to happen with toys? Are they going to drop?
See, toys are going to stay the same. Hasbro's going to keep marking everything up. McFarlane's going to keep marking everything up because they're going to ride the wave until they can't anymore. They want that money, man.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever going to go back to like how COVID was, because that was just an anomaly. That has nothing to do with, politics or anything. That was just people had a mass surplus of money at one time. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
The G.I. Joe classified A figure was 1999 well, they came out in 2019, so they came out during COVID, didn't they?
I think 2020.
Yeah, 2020 I think was the first year, because I remember everybody freaking out to get like Duke.
The Fortnite Duke.
Oh God, just regular Snake Eyes. Yeah.
Here's go ahead. Excuse me.
No, you're all right. Go ahead.
Trivia. You guys got to know who's number 25 G.I. Joe classified.
Oh, stop it. It's either Lady J or Flint.
Lady J. I seen that hooker in my stores. A billion of her, man. They really went out. They really went on a long one for her, man. That's fun.
So, like I said, we're going to see how it goes. Like, so I told Marcos, if it doesn't go well, I'll go down with the ship. I'll be like, hey, man, I chose wrong. I mean, what the fuck? Sometimes you choose and win. Sometimes you fucking don't. That's the way it is with any fucking decision you make in life. So, if it doesn't go well, then, hey, there's that. But fuck. So I didn't understand. I do toy shows only. I am not in the store. I like to be portable. I like to move around. My thing is like, I have fun just working for myself. So, like I said, I would recommend anybody in the OKC area going to where Ben's at Action Comics. You can find me. We have our own toy show in the city called the 405 Toy Expo. Me and two other gentlemen put it on. I think it's doing good for where it's at. I do a lot of shows in northern Texas, so we're trying to bring more of the city. So that's what I do.
Sorry, my bad.
What you doing? What you doing there, Curtis? Hey,
no, it's my phone. My phone's going off and it's attached to my computer. I'm trying to.
It's Mark Cosplay. Mark Cosplay's pinging.
Mark Cosplay. Oh man, watch out! Only three fire emojis. Danger, Robinson.
There's problems in paradise. Look at that liquid marijuana. Show that up to the glass. They look good. It looks like Slimer. Oh, that's great, man. Now, did you make them? You obviously made it because over here they deliver with Uber. You can get drinks delivered, but
Yeah,
Did
it's
you-
crazy that you can get Uber drinks now.
I know.
Well, have you ever tried it? I've never done it. I've never done an Uber over here. I've never had anything delivered to me from them. Do they have that here, Ben?
Yeah, they do. They what is it? Grubhub and DoorDash and Uber Eats. I think everybody uses. I never do that because it turns a $10 meal into a $25 meal really fast. But
Right.
yeah, it's an
When
option.
I know I meant the portable alcohol. I don't know.
Oh,
if
do they even do that? I don't know if they do that here.
DoorDash, yeah, DoorDash. You can DoorDash from somebody. It's DoorDash, not Uber. Sir, excuse me. And
my
if
bad.
you order a cocktail, no, my bad, yeah. But if you order a cocktail, they'll seal it, they'll put plastic around it and tape it, and you get it delivered. Margarita, anything with alcohol. You gotta either have your ID uploaded or you gotta have your show them ID at the door. Beer, you can order beer online, or what's up, Pops? You can order beer, all that.
Shut
shit.
up, pop the trunk.
Crazy. That's awesome though.
Pop. Man,
Rob
pop the trunk, bro.
78.
We haven't not had pop the trunk on here in a minute, bro. We're gonna have to fucking fix that, man. It's been a long time. Hit me up, Pop. God damn it. You know my number. What's up? Go. But anybody got anything else to say before we start the movie? The movie discussion? So what I figure we're gonna do tonight is talk about the movie. I need to get a spoilers banner up. Let's see. I think I have one already from the last show we did. Yes, I do. There we go. We got the spoilers, the spoiler banner going on. We're also going to discuss our favorite Marvel movie when we're done with this. So, Marcos, do you have questions or things you want to start us off with?
Sure. Yeah. First of all, hey, thanks for Curtis for being here and Ben for being here as well. Me and Curtis, man, we have a lot of fun on the backstage shit, man. It's fucking great. But getting for the movie, there's one huge fucking thing that I could not figure out, and I don't know why. I saw the first one twice. I saw the second one once. In the third movie, right in the beginning, he enters into the bar and he's sitting down talking to the short-haired bartender. Then he goes into a porthole that puts him into where the long-haired bartender is. And that's when Venom comes out in the arms and shit and starts making himself a drink and he's making a cocktail and shit. Then he stays in that world the whole time. What world was he in? And why did he jump through a porthole into the second world and stay there? I couldn't figure it out.
So it was kind of weird because it's been a while since I've seen the movie where he gets put into the world. So he's in the MCU, right? At the beginning of the movie. He's in like the main Marvel movie universe because in another movie he gets sucked through a portal and goes to that universe. And then I think that's where this movie picks up and then he gets sucked back to his universe is the way I understood it.
Yeah, he jumps back to his universe and he goes, I like that. And
Wow.
And then the other guy's like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, isn't that a good so Spider-Man and all them, like you're talking not the new MCU, but before Spider-Man and all them was owned by Sony. Sony was not in the MCU continuity. Venom has stayed out. They have moved Spider-Man over, right? So I guess that's kind of their way of saying, oh, this is our little connection to the MCU. But I like that they jumped right the fuck back out. Because I do like the fact that it's outside a little bit. Go ahead.
I think there was something to do with rumors. Like they were rumored to bring Venom into the movies, like the main Marvel movies. So I think that's why they kept that option open. But whenever they made a third movie, they're like, okay, well, we got to bring him back to just the normal Sony universe that he's in. So it's a nice little connection for anybody else paying attention to the other movies.
Did you raise your hand, Curtis?
What was that?
Did you raise your hand?
Oh, no, I just shouting out to Mark Cosplay.
Yeah. What's up, Mark Cosplay?
Mark Cosplay!
Okay, so let's go around the panel in the chat. Do you like that this is basically right now separate from the MCU? That little clip that they did, right? That don't really count to me. I missed the second movie. So I was like, fuck. And to be honest with you, I didn't even miss seeing it. Like I went and saw it with Ramrod, the guy we do comics with, and sometimes he's on here. And he's like, you're probably not going to even miss missing the Carnage movie, and I didn't. I mean, the only reference I saw was when he was talking to, is it his teacher, the Oriental chick, and she's like, "Is big guy in there?" Go ahead.
Not his teacher. She's the girl in the liquor store, the woman in the liquor store where he saves her the very first save that we see, and he eats that guy's fucking head and shit.
Okay.
But, yeah, and then the second one, I don't remember her in the second one at all, but that might be my memory. Sure.
Right.
Yeah, she's the store owner. Like, I think it's below his apartment or something, and she helps him out, him and Venom.
So, like I was saying, and goes around the chat. Go ahead, start with Marcos. Do you like the fact that to me, it's like separate from MCU? Do you like that fact?
Man, I am so naive to a lot of the lore with everything across the board. I try real hard to watch a movie for what it is and not try and bring other things into it to say, how did this go? Or why is it like this? Because your brain will just get fucked, especially with the multiverse. I don't mind multiverse at all. But as far as this movie in particular, because I don't really remember too much of the second one, the first one I do, but yeah, it doesn't bother me either way. When I watched this movie, nothing bothered me. What up, Moto Viper?
Yeah, what's up, Moto Viper? Moto Viper is one of our guys that's on the show normally. But when we watch movies, if you haven't seen it, then you don't get on the panel. But we should be back with the guys Sunday night. Go ahead, Curtis, with the question.
Oh, the question was, did it matter
do you
if
like
I
that
saw
this
the
is out?
Yeah,
No, do you like the fact that this is basically outside of MCU?
Yeah, I do. I like it's outside MCU. Just because of what MCU is doing, but it makes me excited what possibly could happen for this extension of it. But you know how that goes. But yeah, I it doesn't bother me. Like it leads from the second into this one, but you don't need to see the second one, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
Right.
That's exactly what I was told. Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, I like that it's separate. I think Spider-Man and all that kind of stuff is strong enough to stand on its own two legs outside of the MCU. And if they bring Spider-Man into it, I mean, Avengers Tower is technically in the middle of New York City. So it wouldn't make sense for Spider-Man to deal with all. I know this isn't a Spider-Man movie, but just saying, like, with those characters, it doesn't really make sense that they would exist in a world with all these other superheroes that respond to every little minor threat that the world faces. You know what I mean? It's like you couldn't have a movie without Captain America and Iron Man or whatever showing up. So,
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that it's separate.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Can I add real quick? Or go ahead. Go ahead, Pat.
I'm good. Go ahead.
Are you saying that this Venom and this Eddie Brock that they chose the guy to do Eddie Brock, we'll never see him in a Spider-Man movie? What's his name was fucking Venom in Spider-Man? The kid that played in
Topher Grace.
show.
Yeah. Topher Grace.
Okay. So we just won't see Sony's version of Venom in the MCU. Okay.
Well, who owned Spider-Man? Didn't Sony own Spider-Man back in the 2000s?
Sony still owns Spider-Man and all Spider-Man characters. They're just letting Marvel use Spider-Man and some of the characters for the MCU as like a kind of a like they're well, from what I hear, so Sony gets like 80% of the profits or something insane like that, and Marvel gets to make the movies.
Right.
So 20% of Spider-Man still probably like $1 billion per movie. I don't know, but you know what I mean? Like it's kind of a partnership. Like Marvel doesn't, or the MCU doesn't own Hulk. Universal still owns Hulk, but they just let them use it to,
Yeah, isn't Fantastic Four like that too?
No, they own Fantastic Four now. I think the only properties that the MCU and Disney do not own the film rights to is Spider-Man and all Spider-Man characters and Hulk. I think those are the only two that they're missing. Good luck
And I'm
getting
all-
back because that's probably worth more than all the other stuff combined.
And I'm all for them staying. I'm all for Sony continue to own them. I'm just not. Disney's shaky to me. I don't really like a lot of stuff they're doing. But Ex Daredevil says it was set up. It was set up, including the slow introduction of Noel. Yeah, we will get to him for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure I got no other comments to go through here.
And then
Daredevil also says we will see Tom Hardy Venom. Mark my words. Book it. Go ahead, Marcos.
book it next, Derek. Good call. So me and Maisie, after watching the movie at the theater, I went with my wife and my daughter, and they both loved it. They thought it was great. And Maisie was looking for Venom. I was like, "Oh, you can't see. You have to maybe download it off of YouTube or something." She's like, "No, look, it's on Disney Plus." I was like, "Venom, the first one is on Disney. Like, what? How did that happen?" Because the MCU bought, like, they're merging for a little quick bit and shit. You know what I mean? I just I didn't know that Sony could be related to Disney. You know, that's my point, I guess.
Yeah. I think they just let him use film rights and stuff like that. Like you'll see Netflix have Marvel movies and stuff like that, and they just loan the rights out to them as kind of yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Shout out to DFS Infinity, bro. For the panel, will Trump make the MCU better?
Trump would make everything better. Mark my words. Book it.
He says make MCU great one time. DFS is hilarious, bro.
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping, man. Let's see.
Is Star Wars make Star Wars great again?
Yeah, but go ahead with the beginning. Anybody that wants to talk about the beginning, if not, continue on with what you got, Marcos.
Yeah, so he enters the bar and he wants to drink, so that's a pretty good scene. This movie got me involved. It was really, really cool to watch. Really good visuals, but there's a lot that I try not to do is pick it apart. And in my head, I was picking it apart, and I was like, how is Venom, like, he's a terrorizing figure. He's an alien symbiote, but comes down in this movie, happens to have a slightly different characteristic than he did in the first movie. A little bit more human-esque, a little bit more human, a little bit more breaking down. Is it the fact that he's attached for the last year to Eddie Brock and kind of absorbing his human traits? Because what symbiote goes behind a bar and starts doing a fucking, Macarena and fucking shaking drinks and just to have a drink, super cool. I had to tell myself, stop picking it apart. It's a good movie, but in the beginning, the first bar scene was cool, and then it kind of stumbled into just kept on being better and better. I liked the movie a lot.
Yeah. Marcos, we are thirsty. That's why he's behind the bar. We are thirsty.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Anybody that has anything regarding the beginning, we'll go ahead and transition, because there's a couple of things I thought about. Like, sometimes I'll just get a little over detailed. I'm like, when Venom eats the heads off of everybody, right? Delicious. Like,
Yeah.
where does the food go? Where does the stuff he just ate? Is that all in Eddie Brock now? I mean, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's just stupid shit I think about.
Yeah, I thought about that too. I was like, so if Venom eats him, I was like, does Eddie Brock not need to eat? Because, like, technically he just ate. And is he a cannibal now?
Right.
What I mean?
Ate a lot of chicken heads too.
What's up to Lone Dragon? Lone Dragon just stopped in, bro. What's up? Yeah,
What up,
spoilers,
Lone?
definitely. If you don't want spoilers, leave now. Yeah, go ahead. Just, I'm trying to think. You got anything, Curtis, on the beginning?
The beginning, yeah, he walks into the bar. That poor bar guy. Got to remember him through the movie, and that's basically all that is in the opening scene, really.
Yeah, like, so I need to see a movie a couple times. I just watched this Sunday. I don't know when y'all saw it. Marcos, you see it when?
Sunday.
Ben?
I saw it Monday.
Monday.
I saw it a week ago Sunday.
Okay, I really need to see it a couple times, but So what's next? What do you got? What do you got, Marcos?
You know what? I was writing some stuff down. I did write down the warp hole. I think I went to. I was going to ask what was the bad guy's name, and I call him the bad guy, but obviously it's Null. Let's see. The theater wasn't packed at all. That was something that I kind of noticed. Was the theater had like, we were already a week late since it came out, but there was like maybe 15 people in there. No line, no nothing. I remember when we saw Spider-Man for the first time back in 2006, 7, or 8, or whenever it came out. Fucking with line was down the street even after the first week and shit, you know. So how they did on the I'm not sure how they did on the finances part of it. That had really good comic relief. And then it started going to like character building. So the girl who is the doctor, she's walking on that's one of the also one of the kind of the first 25-minute scenes. She's walking on the beach with her twin brother. It's got a little bit of fucking memories. For whatever reason, she gets struck by lightning, goes through her and kills her brother. So she goes and makes her life as he would have made her life through NASA and going through space and trying to do technologies and stuff like that. But she worked her way so far up that she became really involved in symbiote alien fucking study. And they killed Area 51. They said, Area 51, we're going to go ahead and act like it's not there anymore. So shut it down. But the 25 layers of basements underneath were going strong. And they ended up on level like 54, correct me if I'm wrong, or 27, which means there's 26 more levels above them that are each doing some scientific thing. And I think Hollywood alludes into giving us giving us little tips of what's really going on. So I do believe some of that stuff is pretty cool. So when they went into her lab and she had the symbiotes and she had different colors, maybe that's what I'm alluding to is the colors of the symbiotes. She had a blue one, a yellow one, a fucking pink one or purple, whatever, and no black one. So they were missing. They didn't know they were missing, but they were missing the black one. And only when the one symbiote got connected with that guy who looks similar to fucking the Venom's character, they kind of look like brothers, if you will. My wife was asking that. What's the deal with them looking the same and or similar? I'm like, I don't know. The guy who got the green symbiote attached to him in the prison cell or their test cell, and Eddie Brock. They kind of both white dudes, both blonde hair, short hair, both blue eyes. They kind of had like similar beer belly or whatever you want to call it.
Similar builds.
Similar build. My wife.
Oh, you're talking about the guy that they find down there that's already in Area 51 in like that imprisoned room.
Yeah.
So he's the detective from the last movie.
Yeah.
Oh.
He was reported as dead, so that's who they were coming. That's why they were coming after Eddie Brock. They said Eddie Brock killed this dude, which he was still alive.
Okay.
See, that's why I bring people with me. They're smart. They know what's going on. So we talk about some of the cast, right? Okay, so if we're going to talk about the movie, we're going to go into the cast, right? Because Marcos started bringing up the chick that the main chick. I remember her name is Keeley from Ted Lasso. If anybody's seen Ted Lasso,
that's where she's from, dude. Yes,
dude. Ted Lasso is a fucking hilarious show, bro. Ben, you've seen it, haven't you? I've seen that look.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, that is a good show.
Yeah, it's Keeley. That's Keeley. And also the hippie guy. The hippie guy is the kicker from the Replacements movie from like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Wait. He's wiry. He's wiry.
He also plays if you've seen Little Nicky, he plays that demon. Well, son of Satan that they're going after in Little Nicky, the one that wears all the crazy like glam rock stuff. Yeah, that's him.
Oh yeah! Holy shit! The one that's like, he's like, I'm gonna make you walk across the street while I drink my peppermint schnapps, and and he gets hit by the bus and shit.
And of course, he plays the Lizard in the Amazing Spider-Man movies. So I mean, that's the key. What most people watching this movie are gonna probably know him for. But yeah, that's Lizard.
I
thought they were going to do a little thing where they're like, oh, well, this is Kirk Connors in this universe. But no, they didn't do that.
I was wondering if they were going to try to tie anything in.
Yeah.
I wondered. Yeah, because believe it or not, even though I said the replacements, I definitely saw the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies that he was in. Lizard he was a scientist trying to regenerate human. He was without an arm, right?
Yeah. He's in the
Yeah.
first Amazing Spider-Man, and then they brought him in what No Way Home. Yeah, but
I still have yet to see No Way Home. Like this first Spider-Man movie just killed me, and everybody's like, you don't need to watch the second one. Just go right to the third one.
You really don't. Yeah, you don't need to watch the second one. I mean, you kind of like the last bit of information at the set. It's besides the point. We're getting off topic of Venom. My bad.
Yep. Yeah. Hey, sometimes off topic is fun. We just bring it back. But so cast. What do you guys think about the cast? Did you like it? Was there parts of it you didn't like? What do you think, Kurt?
I like the cast. What was that one guy's name?
The black dude, the general.
Yeah, Chewell.
Yeah, he was in 2012. That movie with 2012. He was one of the main key characters in that movie.
I believe he was. He in the
yes.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
multiverse.
Is that him? Is that him? Baron Mordo?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, see, I was thinking he was in another superhero movie, and
maybe it's another superhero. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
No, it is Doctor Strange. You're right.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. He was a Cog McGraw guy.
Yes.
Oh, for M3's question, so far it's made $322.3 million.
What was the budget?
120.
Oh wow, they tripled it. Pretty much tripled. Okay.
So that's good.
If when we're done with cast, and we might be, it depends on the panel. I want to go and talk about the empty movie theater. That's part of what you just said, Kurt. I want to get into.
Yeah.
But anybody else has anything to say about the cast?
Real quick. So Keely is the doctor, right? The main girl, the doctor, right. And my wife didn't like her, and I kind of didn't like her either. But now I do because she's the one that was masturbating, watching what's his name cry, right? On the phone. She had the phone and she was like watching her boyfriend cry on stage. She was like, she was like fucking masturbating to that.
I wouldn't know that one. In
Ted Lasso. In Ted Lasso.
Oh, you're talking about Ted Lasso. I don't remember. I'd have to rewatch that again.
Oh, I remember that like the back of my hand. Shit. Sorry. Anyway, so I didn't mind the cast at all. I thought the cast was great. No problem whatsoever.
Yes, Daredevil. Yes, Daredevil. Andy Serkis.
Okay. So, did you enjoy the cast, Ben?
Yeah, I thought they were great. Like I said, I thought they were like whenever you cast that guy to play in a Spider-Man movie, your mind naturally is like, oh, is he the fucking Lizard in this movie? So that kind of threw me off. I was like, there was no other like white guy you guys could have casted. You had to cast the Lizard. Like everybody knows him as the Lizard. And so whenever they see him,
is it an Easter egg then?
Do what?
Is it an Easter egg then? Technically,
I think it's like a fun thing. You're like, oh, that's the guy from the Spider-Man. Probably originally they were like, oh, this is Kirk Connors in this universe. I could see them actually, and then later on in the script, they probably changed it and were like, well, we already have him, so let's just have him play another guy.
Yeah. But they're doing that mixed universe thing, I guess. That's what I got from this movie. So
I still like it. He's a good actor.
Yeah.
I think let's see. Oh yes, Daredevil called out earlier. It was Kirk Connors. So shout out to Daredevil. So yeah, we'll move on past that. So Marcos had mentioned empty movie theaters. So I saw Transformers 1 here real recently. I saw Twisters real recently, and I saw this. Nobody's in any of these theaters. Is it because movie theaters I just started going to and watching because me and some of the guys from Stillwater will go and watch them together. So is it because of the new system? I don't like that I got to check in. I would fucking like just going to the goddamn ticket window, buy my ticket, go sit down. But now you got to get on an app. You got to get your seat. It's all signed. why do you guys? I don't know. So, Kurt, was your movie theater empty, or were there people in there? Lots of people in there.
Mine was empty, but it was matinee time. It was like 11:30 in the morning. I'm wondering if that had something to do with it. Yeah, we still can go up to the desk and buy our ticket. Here.
Can you do that here, Ben? I thought
Yeah, you
everybody was
can.
like,
Everybody
Okay.
just does it through their phone because apps. But yeah, you can still buy the tickets at the desk at least at the AMC and at the Icon Cinema over here. You can.
Yeah, we got
okay.
AMC, Imagine, and MJR.
How was your theater, Ben?
We were the only two in it besides another group of two people, but we went to go see it at like I think it was like 3:30, and it was Monday, so I didn't expect it to be full of people.
Right.
But besides the show times that we probably all saw it at, I've heard that most of the movie theaters were empty even on like Friday and Saturday showings. I'm kind of surprised how much money the movies actually already made.
That's what
I haven't heard anybody
confusing
talk
me.
about it. We're talking about it, but besides that, like nobody's came into the comic book store and be like, "Oh man, did you guys see Venom?" Like nobody has said that to me.
Supposedly, it is doing well in the box office, though. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. I did that to M3. I was like, dude, you got to see Venom.
Yeah.
X-Devil said it was packed. Yeah, it's packed here, even though I saw the first showing at 10:30 Saturday, but a couple hours after it stayed packed. That's great.
Oh, well, that's good. That's
Oh,
good.
wow.
so what? Another question. Marcos already answered the question. When I saw it at the theater, it was like I'm G15, bro. Like Next question is, where did you guys see it? I saw it at Showbiz. Showbiz on the SDX. Where did you see it, Marcos?
The movie theater downtown, Cinema 12, Lodi Cinema 12, Fandango.
Was it SDX or IMAX or anything like that?
No, just a regular movie. Didn't watch it any special 3D, nothing, just regular.
Oh, that might be why.
I bet.
What about you? What about you, Ben? Yeah, I saw mine in Northeast Edmond. Showbiz.
Yeah, we just saw it at the Icon Cinema regular theater. Yeah.
What about you, Kurt?
I saw it at MJR, and that might be why ours was not crowded at all, because the what do you call it, the laser one or whatever showing, the top, and then you got the 3D. Both of those were packed.
That's good though. That's good. Daredevil says Regal 20. That's where he saw his. Let's see, theaters are empty. Yeah. DFS says theaters are empty here. Let's see, have to buy tickets at the concession counter at Blows. I don't go.
At
That's Long
Lowe's?
Dragon. Yeah. Okay.
What?
So it's supposed to be. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, elaborate on Daredevil. I think we have a Regal in Sacramento or Elk Grove, but I've never been to one.
Well, I like
The Regal
we got
Beagle.
the show.
Isn't that in San Diego?
Yeah, it is. Three's Company.
Sorry.
So the place I go see that Showbiz, dude, they have bowling alley, they have arcade, they have bar, they have their fucking recliners. So I love that place, dude.
Nice.
And it's
Chuck
newer.
Norris opened the theater.
No.
Do what?
Chuck Norris opened that theater. Whenever the grand
Did.
opening, Chuck Norris was there.
That's
Wasn't
dope.
that like 4 years ago they opened that?
Yeah, I think
3,
so.
4?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Chuck Norris is the balls, man.
he is.
Yes.
He is. He probably doesn't watch his movies there, but yeah, he is.
Chuck Norris is bald, half balls.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so I like I like them going over to the Area 51 and / Area 55, right? Because like Marco said, I think Hollywood hides real life shit that goes on right in front of our face. You can believe it, you cannot, but think about it, dude. Like Enemy of the State in the 90s was showing us espionage shit. So if they're showing us that shit, they had that like 40 years ago, 30, 40 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I liked how they go ahead.
I just said I agree. I agree with you.
so we kind of go past that. They do some character building with, I don't remember her name, Keely. I don't remember her name in this show, which is fucked up. They did some character building with her, and then we go. I think we're at Area 51, but Eddie and Venom are escaping because they just had that introduction on the plane, right? Like some of the shit, I'm like, that's fucked up. Like you just see him locked onto the plane, right?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, but I guess so. Before that, we have the introduction of Noel and his backstory. Like, do you want to go on any of that, Ben?
That show's wild. It only lasts for like a couple seconds, but it looks really cool. It looks really cool, and basically that's our first introduction to, I guess, the main antagonist of this movie, kind of. But it's more or less like him sending his goon creatures out after Venom, and we can gather that Noel's chained up, and he's like, "Hey, I need you to bring this guy back here so he can unlock me." And his creatures do a little screech, and then they hop through a portal. And that's our first introduction of him. So we're like, oh, okay, well, who's this guy? For anybody that doesn't know who Noel is, but they make him interesting and ominous.
Right.
Ominous.
So the deal is Noel is looking for the Codex. Okay. The Codex is the link that happens between a symbiote. I don't think it's just a human. Wherever the symbiote attacked, correct me if I'm wrong, whoever the symbiote attaches to, right? If the host dies and like it comes back to life, then that creates the Codex, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So they don't explain why, but this Codex, because Eddie and Venom have that connection. So the Codex exists inside of him and them. So they don't say why. It kind of does, but it's like the symbiotes betrayed Noel. So now they imprison him. So now he wants free. And the only way to do that is to find the Codex. That's where we're at now. The Codex, and Noel releases the other aliens or whatever beings. I don't know what beings they are.
What do they call them? They give them a name in the movie, but fuck, what are those called? I can't remember. But they work as like organic paper shredders. They're basically like wood chips on four legs, or wood chippers on four legs. You know what I mean? They're crazy.
I actually wrote that down, dude. Those fucking things were pretty dope. The first kill scene was in the water when the stream's going by and the four fucking like, I'm not gonna say SWAT team dudes were in the fucking water and shit, special ops and shit. And that fucking
Daredevil said xenophage.
Yes, thank you. Daredevil's getting the freaking. Hey, you're getting a sticker, bro. You're getting that sticker like we're in kindergarten.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Daredevil, did you read the comics? Is that how you're so up to par on everything, or what, man? That's pretty good.
He paid attention to the movie. We're doing
he just has better memory than us.
He might be able to help us research. So anybody in the chat that does can look things up for us. That's greatly appreciated. So maybe he looked it up. Maybe he remembers it just from the show. Maybe he knows about the shit. You know what I mean? Only he can answer that. But yeah, so that's where we're at now with the xenophage stage, with them hunting them down. Yeah, I thought that was kind of fucked up. So when the xenophage would eat a motherfucker, like in that water scene, it would like the blood would just go right out the back. But later on in the movie, I didn't see that. Did you guys happen to notice that when they did that?
They did it quite a bit.
Yeah, I think they do it a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see it later on in the movie. Maybe I missed it. But xenophages, those things were kind of weird to me. Like they're just like straight out of an alien type movie. Like if you watch, I don't know if you guys remember a show called Falling Skies back in like 2008-ish, 2010.
Oh yeah, the sci-fi show.
Yeah, so there's creatures in that too, and they call them skitters, and they kind of reminded me of the skitters from the Falling Skies. So, but yeah, Marcos is on record as liking those motherfuckers.
Well, so they ended up getting one of the green symbiote, the one that anyway they ate that green symbiote went, and I was like, oh shit, you can't kill a symbiote. I thought that they could always do exactly what that xenophage did. Was it got blown to pieces? All the pieces came back together, no matter what. And I was like, that thing is unstoppable, unkillable, unless you do what they did at the end, right? But
maybe they will. I don't know.
I couldn't. One was bad. Then when the 3 came on, I was like, you guys are fucked, dude. There's no fucking way, dude.
Like, dude, when Venom was fighting him on the airplane, and they fucking threw him into the fucking airplane engine, right? And it sucked him in and spit him out. And then you see it all pieced together later. I'm like, they're fucked. You're fucked. Now what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I like.
That's when he became a horse.
Dude, yeah, because so those creatures were pretty ridiculous, right? Kind of like God power, like okay, but
yeah.
As far as Null is concerned, to get back to him real quick, I've never heard of Null. Does he have the same type of power like Thanos?
More.
Okay, hey, can you guys take the panel on this segment? I need to take a whiz. I'll be back.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'll let Curtis take over. He's probably read the comics.
No, I haven't. I didn't know of Null till I saw this, and then I kind of read up on him.
Oh, okay.
But what I got from that, him being on the outside of the universe, basically, or outside of space, from where he came from, he sounded like he was more powerful. But then, like what I read, he's a more powerful being than Thanos and Galactus and them. So,
yeah.
Daredevil says he's the first god in the beginning. So why is he so god of the abyss? Okay, so thinking that there's other gods, Daredevil, that the comic realm did, he's bad. Who's his nemesis, Daredevil? Like, who's the yin to his yang? If that's if he has a yin to his yang.
The way I kind of took this movie is, what is that Greek mythology with Kronos? Whenever they lock up Kronos, like all the children of Kronos lock him up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. It almost takes on like a Greek mythology kind of thing where all his children like ban against him, even though they're his offspring, and just decide to like lock him away. But he is the ultimate like big bad if he ever gets out.
Yeah, Zeus did that to his dad with his siblings.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
So, okay, so let's go to Null's realm real quick. And his realm, before he got locked up, he's a dude, god of the abyss, and has these Venoms, but they're not Venoms because they don't have any form to take because they're just a black blob or a blue blob or a green. Is he on a plant? What is he in a human form? Because if you look at Null, he's a human. He looks human-esque, right? He's got 2 arms, 2 legs, a head. Where the symbiotes are just blobs that move around and try to attach to something so they can do the animals like we saw in the movie and shit. But
created, I don't know.
Yeah, isn't that weird? So I wonder what they're and why did they betray him? You know, what happened? I'd like to know what happened there.
Yeah, I don't know. If we get a sequel, we might find out.
Yeah. It was something to do with him treating them like crap or whatever, and basically they got fed up and they figured a way to lock him up because he's hard to lock up.
And that's the other thing too. Like if he's beyond Omega level, like X Daredevil says, how in the fuck is he locked up? What was I need to know the story. X Dare, I might look it up. I might look it up and find out for myself, but I'm sure it gets fucking.
Read Donny Cates' Venom. Yeah,
okay,
that's probably your best because Donny Cates. I didn't get to read the comics whenever they were coming out because they're always kind of hard to find. And then they did all the spin-offs and all that stuff and the King in Black and all that. And I was just like, ain't no way I'm reading all that. But I might have to now because I was pretty intrigued by the movie. I know who the character is because I have the toy, but yeah.
Right. So that's the only reason I know is because of the toy, right? I saw the hair and I'm like, no, that's no, right? So, but it's funny how you'll get some toys, but you don't really know the backstory.
Hey, show us no.
He's in my glove box. I can't.
Okay.
Dude, Ben's got stuff buried in corners and fucking.
Wait. Oh, actually.
Okay. I'll be like, hey, Ben, do you have this part for this G.I. Joe vehicle? He's like, I think so. But it's going to take me a while to find out because he got so much shit, dude. He's got tons of shit.
Yeah, he's got a store the size of Ross and shit. Damn.
Oh, he sees what come in. He gets what he wants, man. But yeah, the null angle was nice.
Here we go. Here's the action figure.
Oh, I've seen him.
Oh,
He comes
yeah.
in a 2-pack with Venom.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
He's actually pretty cool. He's like a pretty neat figure. He comes with a sword and like an extra head. Yeah. I don't know. This bad boy was on clearance on Amazon for like a very long time. He probably is not anymore, but yeah. Cool toy.
Yeah, so most people wanted the Venom out of the 2-pack, right? So it's gonna be interesting to see does Null stock go up, right? Because you know how that is, right? People
Yeah.
make connection and they're like, "Oh, I gotta have it. Here it comes, man." But so Null has turned out to be the main antagonist, right? So we go to Area 51. Oh, did you guys like the fucking horse? I thought the fucking
horse was
cool as
awesome.
fuck.
Yeah, I like the horse. The horse was awesome.
Who wants a fucking horse? Who wants a Venom horse?
They make
I
that
want-
horse. There's a third-party company that makes it. If you look up Venom horse on AliExpress, you get the
no
horse.
way. Write
No
that
way.
down. Venom horse. If it's a third party, it's going to be expensive. Go ahead, Marcos.
It's like $40 or something like that.
Ex Daredevil. I checked out what you sent me on Instagram. It is a. I was trying to take a screenshot of it, but it's got a kind of a glare. He's got a couple Venoms graded 9.8 grade on their, and they're sealed in the case and comic books and shit. So that's pretty cool. There's one of them right there.
Oh yeah, that's for Schnoll right there. Venom number 3.
Right. And so he's
nice.
His print.
Yeah, and
what grade is that?
9.8.
9.8. Yeah,
I believe you can get that on Amazon.
that one too. But that was kind of a little bit
Oh,
blurry.
that's cool. Yeah, that's one of the variants. Signature series. That's cool.
Yeah,
Oh
but-
man, we got to say what's up to Shadow Slick Goku Black. What's up, man? Thanks for stopping.
Yeah, what's up, Shadow?
Yeah, we're probably about middle of the way through the movie, we're about getting ready to head to the 3/4 part of the movie. So, like I said, leave now if you don't want any spoilers, because this is all spoilers. We're talking about what we saw. So, we talked about the main antagonist. We're intrigued by it. The xenophages are fucking cool. The visuals, before we go on to the 3/4 part of the visuals, and we'll start with Curtis. What do you think about the visuals? Because they're very important to sci-fi movies and these superhero movies. And this one would be anti-hero movie.
The visuals to me looked good, but again, you guys know I'm like kind of blind. But the visuals to me looked really good. I liked them. It was all CGI, so it's CGI.
Yeah.
Ben?
That's all I gotta say about it.
I thought they looked pretty good. I felt like they had a harder time with this movie because the last movie's like dark the whole entire time.
Yeah.
Like I think the last movie, the whole entire thing is almost at nighttime, other than a couple of scenes where he goes to the prison. So animating something like Venom or Venom-esque creatures in the daytime when you're just supposed to see them out in broad daylight, like everything looked good to me. It looks real good.
Awesome. Yeah.
Dude,
M3.
hey, touch tips.
Fucking gay.
The horse was fucking dope. I actually went to the movie theaters because I wanted to see that scene. That was what drew me in. I was like, that's so fucking sick, dude. Anyway, and he's running, and you see fucking Eddie Brock on his back, and his balls keep hitting the back of the horse. He's like, oh, I'm fucking in pain, dude. That was great. I love that scene. And I love when they used the animals that the symbiote can just leap onto a frog and become the frog, and then leap over here and become the fish. I was like, dude. So the visuals,
super cool.
yeah, the visuals for me were fantastic, compared especially to the Flash. Oh my god, the fucking visuals were dumb, stupid. Like they were so fucking comical. It was
are you talking about the movie, the Flash movie?
Yeah.
I'll be
With
back.
all the babies are falling out of the fucking hook, and one of the scenes, and the dog, and it's so cartooning. I can't even believe they didn't edit it out. Anyway,
Shadow Slick Goku. Venom
Shadow
Slick
Slick.
Dog.
Venom Snoop Dogg. The only scene that I didn't like the visuals for because CGI failed was the dance scene with the Asian girl in the fucking hotel in Vegas. I thought that was really cartoony, but I didn't say fuck this scene. I was just like, okay, they could have done better there.
That was so. If we talk about parts of the movie we don't like, that was definitely a part I was gonna be like, this part fucking blows. Fuck.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
And it was the comic relief. So far, all the comic relief have been on point because we all know we've seen those movies, and MCU is bad about it here, especially in overplaying comedy to where it just annoys you. Like, I'm glad that they didn't overplay it because if they'd done more of what they did there, I'd been like, fuck, this sucks.
Yeah. I have a feeling that scene was way longer, and whoever was in charge of that movie was like, all right, I'm going to cut this down to 20 seconds. They're like, this is fucking dumb as shit.
Good call. Good call. I'm like,
you could just look at that scene and you know it was way longer.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Eddie Brock's like, don't. I'm like, please don't. And
Yeah,
then when
please.
he started, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Dude, when he's at the fucking gambling machine, he's like, that's hilarious. It's like he's not even moving.
Dude, I love the scene when he's sitting down and the hippies bring him the food of vegetables and he's like, hard pass, and fucking throws it. I was like, yeah, me and my wife laughed at that. We thought that was pretty good, man.
We like chocolate.
We like chocolate.
Oh, so where are we at here? I think they're trying to track him down. But they catch him on this scene. So we're talking about the horse, the frog, and all that shit. They catch him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he gets caught and he gets put in area. Which one is it? 51 or 55?
57, I think.
I think isn't it 55?
You might be right. Yeah, you're probably right.
Because what they're talking about in this movie is they're decommissioning 51.
Mm-hmm.
They're like destroying it with like bombs and acid. Is that
they're like melting everything with acid, which I thought was kind of neat. I was like, oh, man, they're shutting this shit down.
They're shutting it down, but they ain't giving a fuck about the environment. Because think about what the acid's doing to the metal. And it's like going right into the air. Like, okay, yeah, they don't give a fuck. Yeah,
Forever
Daredevil
Chemicals.
says 55.
Forever Chemicals.
Yes.
Yes.
So they're decommissioning that, and then we see it's like Marco says, dope when you see her drive in with her old Bronco down in the deal. But now when we go into there and we start getting to see some of the scientific side, whoever wants to go on that, go ahead. Because after this is like the fucking ending of the shits.
Okay, so if I can, the only thing I noticed about this is, again, I'll say you can't pick shit apart, Marcos. Don't do it. But I had to pick this apart. Okay, it starts out, the symbiote is in a little glass tube, and she brings it, and she has the black one, and she puts it in with the other ones, the pink one, the green one, the yellow one, in a little cylinder the size of a beer can, and she slaps it in there. Then all of a sudden, it goes into the other scene where these big pods are coming out that holds the symbiote. So I was like, where did those come from? And then so the purple symbiote was inside of one of those where she gets later on and has it in a little glass case. Was there mass shifting? How do you explain? How I couldn't explain that to myself, and I let it go. I was like, it's a movie. It's great the way they did it, but I don't understand how they became little tubes and then they became these big fucking vial or these big.
Like, how did they not break out of the little tubes?
Well, but they're this big, and you know, they're like all little slimy pop 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 running around. But then they get in the big tubes, and there's this big blob of them. They're all pop pop pop, you know, moving around and shit.
Yeah.
I didn't get that. I don't know if you guys saw that or if you guys registered or if
It's probably something where they like need organic mass to attain mass. You know what I mean? Kind of like Sandman. Like they could have a normal human-sized Sandman, but if he gets into a lot of sand, he could go big. So maybe it's like that. Like they could naturally shrink down as small as they want, but if they want to get any bigger, they probably need organic mass or moisture or something like that.
Ooh, what if you got on Giant Man?
Dude,
oh my gosh,
Venom. Gigantic Venom.
That'd be dope. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Dude, and then go further. What about if they got Unicron symbiote that motherfucker, dude? Holy shit.
Symbiote any badass motherfucker. Symbiote is prime. Fucking After it's bright with a fucking tongue. Oh, that'd be badass, dude. That'd kind of almost kind of like.
What if that met a what if a symbiote met a xenomorph, took over the xenomorph?
So he did in the end, kinda.
Yes, he did. He did.
Yeah.
He was taking that motherfucker over, dude. He was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh
So,
no, he said xenomorph from Alien. Yes.
Yeah.
Got it.
oh, these are xenophage. Or
Yeah,
something like
xenophage.
that. Okay, I got you, dude. But that's a good topic. Think about what all you could do with Venom,
Yes.
right? If it could go into anything, fuck it. It could cross over to fucking anything, bro.
Hey, you can mass produce them in condoms. Oh my god, dude, your cock would just be like, raw, fucking all fucking popping ass, fucking shit, dude. But it's just economy.
Stupid.
You're done. You're like, stop, bro. That's enough. That's
I
that.
love power preschool.
So at the beginning when Marcos was talking about the bar scene, he leaves a tip, right? That's pivotal to the end. He leaves a tip in that coin, and a part of Venom is left with that coin, which I think is going to be pivotal, maybe for the next show, right? So go ahead and do the ending. We're going to get to the ending right now. Marcos, you want to take the ending?
The ending was when 3 of the xenophages came onto the scene. They entered Earth's realm and they started wreaking havoc. Well, they started killing off 50% of the other symbiotes. The green one died, the blue one died, the amber one died.
Oh, I kind of skipping something, Marcos.
Go ahead.
Those ones you're talking about.
Yeah.
All the symbiotes that came to life, dude. I thought that attached with human life, dude. Those were dope. I can't remember her name, so I just keep calling her Keely. I thought she turned to pink, right?
She was the last one that was the main help, but the other ones,
So I think it was dope. The more symbiotes you see with hosts, I was like, that's fucking cool. I like all that.
And yeah, so the green one was hella cool. It was like swimming in air. It could swim in air, right? It was fucking really cool looking. It reminded me of a little Medusa, a little snake-esque reptilian. Beautiful. And the amber one had the big hands. His arms were like fucking huge, and his fists were like this and shit, you know? That was dope. And then the blue one looked fucking cool too. So I actually wrote that down, the different colors. And I'm wondering now, like, okay, so there's a million colors out there, right? They're all a shade different of another shade, right? But I'd like to see the symbiote planet. What goes on a symbiote planet? You know, like I
heard you talking about that while I was gone, because I can hear while I'm gone. You're right. On the planet, they're just these little fucking parasitic fucking symbiote slime, small slithering things, right? But when they're brought to a host, it's like they fucking envelop all their full potential.
Yeah.
You know? Let's see.
Hey, Nicholas.
Nick. Yeah, what's up, Nick? Good to see you stopping by. Nick from the Tulsa Comic Con, the Tulsa Comic Swap. He puts on a show in Glenville, Oklahoma. Was
shout out, Nick.
All right, so the ending. Yeah, keep going with the ending. You guys got something to say for the ending?
Yeah, go ahead, Ben. On the ending,
well, basically, right before that, they're down in the lab. That green one, he tells them that they need, or he tells Venom to free the other symbiotes because it's the only way they're going to be able to stop those other crazy alien things. So he frees all the symbiotes. They latch on to everybody. Super fucking cool. It's worth seeing the movie just for like the last 20 minutes of the movie. And so they start fighting all these xenophages.
Because they're badass fighters, bro.
Yeah, they are. And they're all different, and they're all different colors. And sadly, the xenophages are like way more badass because they're laying into these fucking you know what I mean? You don't really realize how powerful they are until like you start seeing them fighting like aliens, and they're just, it takes like 3 symbiotes to fight 1 alien.
Yeah.
So they're just fighting nonstop. Venom gets out of the they're out of the base, and they're pretty much on the base grounds right now. They're not underground anymore, and they just keep on fighting them. The hippie family kind of plays into it a little bit. So the hippie family, their whole thing is they want to see Area 51 before it's decommissioned, and they find a way to sneak onto somehow. The kid just crawls underneath the fence, and they go see Area 51. But I guess whenever we see all the clips of Area 51, like there's no one on this thing. This thing is like hours from being completely shut down, so nobody cares anyways. But anyways, they get onto there. Venom's fighting the aliens. Then he realizes the hippie family's there, so he has to kind of help them too. And it's just mass stressful chaos that whole entire time.
That's right. That's right.
Go ahead, Kurt. Any thoughts you got on the ending of the movie?
Yeah, the fightings were like, and then wah, 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 and the fight scenes were really good.
How'd that go again, Kurt?
Let me rewind your Jimmy.
He DJs on the weekend.
All those noises are accurate too. It's very accurate to the movie.
No, the fighting scenes were really good. At that, you know, like you said, Ben, that last 20 minutes there is enough to see the movie. You know, that whole fighting scene was great. And the hippie family end up saving. Is it Brock? They save Brock at the last second. The guy does, at least.
Yeah, with a bazooka.
Yeah, and then he runs
his
away.
Hippie arc is over. He's
Yeah.
not a hippie anymore because he definitely shot a bazooka. He's not feeling the hippie thing anymore. You can see it in his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yep. And
Yeah.
And then, you know, like at the
I
end,
love chocolate.
when Venom sacrifices himself to save Brock, and as he's getting taken down, he says, "Don't forget about me, Brock, because I won't forget about you."
So did they go too far, Kurt? Like Marcos was saying, from the first movie
Mhm.
to the third movie, the difference between Venom's symbiote and the connection to Eddie to the last. Do you think they went too far for an anti-hero, or do you think it was good for you?
No, it was good, but I guess there's different comics of Venom where he's like that and then not like that, where he's really evil.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that?
Well, looking at these movies as their own thing, whenever the first movie came out, I was like, oh, well, you know, that's as best they could do without Spider-Man. And then the second movie, I felt like they got really goofy with it. And it's just a goofy ass, almost like Batman Forever type movie. This third one, I feel like they nailed the balance of everything. Like, besides the dancing scene, they cut that shit off. So I'm gonna forgive them for the dancing scene because they even knew when to stop it. They're like, all right, that's as much as we have to show this.
Let's get back to the
I feel
anti-hero.
like they balanced the character out really well. You know, it's not him telling jokes the whole time. You get to see him be serious, and yeah, they nailed it with this one.
He still goes around biting people's heads off, and sometimes he has to be controlled from stop doing that to the wrong people. You know, like.
What do you think, Marcos? Do you think from the introduction of him in the first movie, the way he was to the third, do you like it? What do you think?
I don't mind it. He became a more human, is what I could. The more emotional, and you know, he danced. Come on, Venom dancing. You didn't see that in the first one. He actually like was doing ballerina moves and shit, right? So I feel like there was a whole different director, and I kind of wanted to ask that: was this directed by a different director versus the first one? And was she female? Is what was I kind of.
I was kind of wondering that too, and I wanted to pull it up before we got started. So,
Directed by Kelly Marshall.
I want to know who the movies are wrote by.
Look at fucking Daredevil already knows, dude. Kelly Marcel.
God damn.
You didn't hear me? Did you guys hear me?
No.
Curtis,
Yeah,
Curtis,
but
we heard you, Curtis.
He typed it when you said it.
Yeah.
The story's by Tom Hardy and Kelly Marshall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
So two of them wrote the story.
From the
what
first
if-
one, the first one to the second one, all 1, 2, and 3 are all the same people.
So
no,
what if
number two, I think, is Andy Serkis,
Okay.
which is weird because number 2 sucks.
It isn't that good. You're right. I didn't love it either. You're right.
That's probably
I
the
missed
only
that. Was
Spider-Man movie I've ever watched just once. And I was like, yeah.
So I missed it. Who did the first one?
Kelly Marcel.
Okay. And then
It's
the
Kelly
third one was
Marcel,
Marcel?
Ruben Fleischer. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. No. So what if? Okay, so they're used to being with Noel, right? Noel doesn't seem to be any kind of heroic type entity, right?
Mhm.
Maybe as Venom is with the human host longer and longer, he steers away from more of the evil side, right? You get what I'm saying? Like that's
Yeah.
all he knew. So the first movie has him kind of a little more aggressive, but as he becomes with Eddie Brock more, he develops those more humanity traits as much as possible, right? With
Yeah.
him still being the anti-hero. That's what I think. That's my headcanon. Okay, so I'm thinking. So did you guys stay all through till the very end? Credits,
Yes.
like there were two bumps, right? One bump early on and a bump way at the end. Did you like the way it ended? With with him sacrificing himself? Or were you like, fuck him, Eddie can die, we want Venom? What was your thought on that, Kurt?
I was all right with it. It wasn't bad. It could have went any way, but I thought that was pretty good because they're gonna come back with them again anyway. It just felt like
Okay.
it doesn't feel like the Last Dance. But
Hey.
Yeah, Nicholas says, I haven't had the chance to watch it yet. I've heard Noel is only in it for a short time, which isn't great, but at least he's alive. It's the build-up.
Yeah.
It's the build-up, like Marcos replied. He's in it like 4 times or whatever. Just the build-up.
Actually, he's the opening scene
Okay.
for like
So-
maybe 2 minutes.
The world or the anti-world, wherever the fuck he's on, is very intriguing to me. I'm like some fucking meat and potatoes from that shit, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Well, they did this exact same thing with Thanos in the first fucking Avengers, where at the end you saw him come down in the fucking throne and he kind of floats down and you're like, what is that? Then they did a whole fucking movie about it. Yeah.
Now, see what happens. What sucks in movies sometimes is they'll do a build up to somebody. It will suck. It will not do well in the box office, and then they have to cancel they have to cancel it, and you never know what happens. A la Snyder Cut, like fucking Dark Seed at the fucking end. Dope as fuck, but we're done with that shit, right?
Yeah.
But so I saw a little something, but I'm not for sure. It looks like this movie is very successful in the box office. It has done well. I thought I saw it was number 1. Is that true? For that?
It was for the first week, and I know for sure the first week it was number 1 for sure.
Have you guys noticed, like nowadays, the fucking cartoons are the ones that fucking bang high? Have you guys noticed that?
Yeah. I've seen that. Like some of the highest grossing movies, like top 10 highest grossing movies, like 2 of them are probably going to be Minions movies.
Huh.
It's crazy, but blow your fucking mind. Minions making as much as the Titanic.
Right.
Or Sleepless in Seattle. What movie do we have to even compare our good visual movies to? I don't even know what's out in the movie theater.
Joker 2, or at least it was.
I don't like Joaquin Phoenix. I can't. He's not an actor I want to see, so I haven't watched any of the fucking Joker movies.
Fuck Joker.
Marcos is definitely on record not liking Joker. He hates Joker.
He takes that's my girl. Harley's my girl, motherfucker.
I don't think you'll want this one.
Kaylee Cuoco. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I think you'll let Joaquin Phoenix have this one.
Okay, so at the end, we're at the end, like Oh, I'm gonna have to charge my fucking buds. So tell me if you can still hear me. Hold on.
I can still hear you. But
Yes. Let me know if can you still hear me?
yes.
Okay. So the endings happen. Venom has sacrificed himself for Eddie Brock. It was pretty dope how he took over the. I'm gonna say this wrong. Was it the xenophage? Because Kurt confused me. He brought the fucking English.
The Xenomorphs. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
My bad.
xenophage, maybe.
Yeah.
So now we're left with the end scene where we have the Hispanic guy that we saw in the very beginning. First, he had short hair, then he had long hair, as Ben said, to represent jumping in and out of the multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
We saw in the beginning he was the MCU. The long haired version is not the MCU. So we see him walking out of Area 55, right? Wait, no. No, the first end credit is what? I'm wrong. What's the first end credit scene?
The first end credit is Null, right?
Okay, so no,
yeah,
but I don't remember what.
It's Noel saying like he's gonna show up if enough people go see this movie.
Dude, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, so I have a thing. So he's talking to somebody. He's basically saying, I'm going to destroy everything.
Yeah.
And you're going to watch. I took that. Who's he talking to? I took that as almost like he's talking to Venom because Venom left a piece of himself in the very beginning on that coin.
Uh-huh.
So Venom is still alive, right? Because there's a piece of him. Or is that going to be some sort of offspring of Venom that was left behind, right? But he definitely looks at him and say, and you're going to watch me do it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I think he's talking to Venom.
Yeah, because as Daredevil said earlier in the chat, he said Eddie Brock and Venom are the champion to Null. He knows that they have a certain je ne sais quoi about them that can't be undone. So that's now his nemesis is Venom and Eddie Brock versus Null, right?
Yeah.
And so I felt the same way with the coin pack. I was like, wait a second, you know that, but remember the coin, the general came and put the glass on that, and they captured that black Venom. Then they brought it downstairs. So wherever it happened to be after that point, but I thought that he might be regenerated with the acid that came on him because he took those 3 xenophages and made them all melt, and then it exploded, right? Boom. So he's got, I believe, that's where my belief was that Venom never died. He was, he just exploded, and all his little patties went everywhere, and they.
So what did you think, Kurt, about the very end with Noel talking? And he's talking to somebody.
Yeah, I thought he was talking to Venom as well as those whatever those are, those Xeno whatevers. The ones that look like predator dogs, kind of.
Yeah.
I thought he was talking to somebody else that was standing by them or something, but I couldn't quite see. So I thought I saw somebody, but maybe I didn't.
What's your take? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kurt. My bad.
Yeah, I just thought it was Venom he was talking to, maybe, or talking to Brock, maybe telecommunicating with him or something.
What was your take on that first ending scene, Ben?
I thought he was talking to himself. I didn't even put that much thought into it. I was like, oh yeah, they're hyping up the next one. I think, but I mean, I don't think he's talking to Brock because Brock probably thinks it's all over. At least that's how he was acting at the end of the movie, where he goes like, goes and sees New York, and he's like, yeah. He doesn't seem like he's worried about the end of the world. So he's either talking to what's left of Venom or like one of those dog things that he employs.
Yeah.
So when you hear us talking about that, and he definitely says, he's like, I'm going to destroy everything, and you're going to watch. It doesn't make sense that he would be talking to one of his, basically, they're like his soldiers, his black ops, one of his xenophage. To me, it doesn't make sense. They would be talking
that's
to
his
that
right-hand guy, his like employee of the month.
Yeah.
There's a picture, like fucking Office Space. There's a fucking picture.
That's his main employee.
Oh shit. So
Hey,
that's what's up.
Marky IV's here. Can we say hi to Marky? What up,
Oh
Marky?
shit, IV's
What
in the
up,
house,
Marky?
bro.
There's Curtis, and then there's Ben. That's Ben.
Hey,
And you
Hey,
know,
what's up, man?
It's
I can't see
Marky
your
Mark
face.
and his bulgy
Hey.
scrunchers.
we're talking about Venom. He didn't see it.
I
He
didn't
missed
get to
that
see it. I was
night.
working.
He was working. He missed it. Ex Daredevil said, "Yo,
Fuck. What am I on?
what's going on?"
Hey Mark, hey IV, what's up? What's up, gangbanger?
What am I? I came to get bacon because I'm out of
Oh,
bacon.
you think we have bacon?
Bacon.
Hell no, we don't have bacon, man.
Hey, watch out. There could be I could be making a return out there to Lodi, IV.
Oh, you better, dude. What the fuck? I have Sundays and Mondays off. We can spend all day together and look into each other's eyes until we get tired.
Dude, I've been thinking for almost 2 years of your dad's potatoes. Your dad's potatoes are the fucking shit.
Is that what you're calling them?
Shit, that's fucked up.
Potatoes.
No.
Oh, elaborate. Tell me what it.
The breakfast potatoes.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Skillet.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Bro, if you get bacon,
Are you actually out of bacon?
we have no bacon.
Swear.
Go look, because Mom might have bought some without me knowing. But
Okay, so what do you think about the second part? Like, okay,
Well,
so somebody
Wait
keep
till I leave the room.
the second part, Ben. Like this, because I'm like,
Oh, with the
I
bug.
waited so long because I'm like, I told Rammer, I'm like, there's another one. Are
So
you sure? Yes.
a thing we're not talking about is the awesome and the credits. These credits fucking roll, dude, and it's just different Venom animals, and yeah, that part's amazing.
They had
We're
the kangaroo-
skipping over that part, but that part is amazing.
yeah, they had a kangaroo with the Joey inside. I was like, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
They have like a Venom elephant, and you're like, holy shit, that's the coolest thing. Are these
Yeah.
concepts that we didn't get to see in the movie? I was like, the horse kind of sucks compared to that Venom whale. Anyways, so we get to see that, but at the end of the movie, it shows the rubble of what's left of Area 51, and basically the Mexican bartender wanders out of the rubble, and he's like looking around and all scared because he doesn't know what he is, and then he just kind of walks off. But a cockroach comes up, and you see this cockroach, and the cockroach almost looks like a weird shade. Like, he doesn't look like a normal cockroach. It almost looks like a black cockroach. And you see this little bug, and then the scene ends. And you remember what's the chick's name? Jay, help me.
Keely.
Yes.
I just called her Keely. I don't know what the fuck her name is in the show.
Earlier in the movie, you hear her say to the general, "At least it's not the cockroaches; those could live through anything."
You have no bacon.
No,
And so you're like, "Oh, okay." You're like, "Well, if Venom wanted to make it out, he could totally attach to a cockroach and make it out of there."
Yeah.
So,
Oh, so you're thinking maybe
It's Venom.
that's him.
yeah, no, yeah,
Good point. I don't remember seeing the color like that, but to be honest with you, I missed all those fucking credits that you guys saw. The kangaroo, the whale. Good fucking catch. And then I was like, fuck, come on, man. What am I waiting for here? Hurry up. So
yeah. So
I
it's
missed
just
all that, dude.
unless you remember that her saying that, you're just like, "Oh, that's fucking stupid." But I mean, that's how Venom could have made it out. He attached himself to a cockroach. And you guys were talking about, so the general takes that tube down there with them, right? And it never cuts to a scene where that whatever's in that tube attaches itself to anything. So you're like, well, if the cockroach ran into that tube, you know, whatever was in that tube, what was left of Venom could have attached to the cockroach.
I'm just wondering how the official continuity goes. So when he leaves a section of him behind, is that him? Or is it possibly like an offspring? It's going to be some sort of different Venom.
I don't know either, because the general said it's some kind of shedding. I forget what he calls it. But he's like, oh, he's shedding. So you're like, would it be sentient? Because it's kind of moving around in that tube like it's sentient. Or whenever he dies, does it die?
Right.
So for all you guys that have the comic book lore, ex Daredevil, if you're still here, that little cockroach came up to that glass vial and got the little bit of electricity that was running around. Is there a comic book character that is a cockroach that takes human form that has fast moves like that, because I couldn't understand that part either. And then and we kind of skipped over where Keely gets that fucking, breaks it in her hand, and the Venom takes over her, and
Oh,
it's
yeah, that's right.
super fast. And I was like, how in the fuck? And then I was like, because she got struck by lightning and it's still in her DNA from when she was a kid, and the Venom picked up on it and grabbed that and used it. I loved every second of that fucking transition and that fucking power. That was great. I loved it. Then I was like, oh, are they copying Flash? So the fuck what? There's got to be some other fast motherfuckers. Let it be a Venom. That's dope. I loved it. I thought that was so cool.
Well, I know that symbiote is a symbiote in the comic books. It's like Agony. I also have the toy to that one, but yeah, it's Agony, and I don't know what her power is. Maybe it's going fast, but most of those symbiotes they show off are actual symbiotes from the comic books.
Wow. Okay.
So
Yeah, it's funny. My wife just picked up this one in our last show. The chick.
yeah, that's
dope,
Venom.
man.
Oh, dope.
Gwenum.
Yeah. My
That's
wife's
so
like,
cool, dude.
the guy came up and he's like, "Hey, do you do trade? Do you buy?" I'm like, "Yeah." So that was one of them in there. My wife's like, "That's mine."
Cool.
Yeah, she's a dope little chick with the symbiote hoodie.
That's cool.
But-
I've never seen that.
So, I guess that's going to conclude this. We've kind of we may not be able to do our favorite Marvel movies. I don't know how long Ben has. How long you got, Ben?
Not too terribly long.
Okay.
I think we could crack them out real quick if we wanted to.
Well, we're going to finish this one. We may have to come back for people on another show. I'll just remove that from the
That'd be
title because, dude, that might be an hour and a half in itself when we start talking about favorite, where they went, right? So I wasn't sure the meat and potatoes of this, but once we get rolling on panel, like you just start dissecting, like at the beginning when we're slow, we got a little faster, we picked it up, muscle memory, right? Remembering the show. So we did get more content than I thought was originally going to be. So we're probably going to go ahead and just come back later and do our favorite Marvel movie. Because that's going to be like mad content. That's going to be a large discussion.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I was just gonna ask, is that like just like the MCU Marvel, or is it like any Marvel?
That's generic Marvel.
Okay. Sweet.
Yes, that's generic Marvel. That's vast. I know it's vast, but that also leaves content for what's your favorite MCU. Because your favorite Marvel may not be MCU. It may, right?
Right.
But so before we cut out, because we're at an hour and a half, where do you think this goes? We'll start with Kurt. Where do you think it goes? Is Eddie and Venom going to come back? Is he done? I thought I heard that Tom Hardy was done. Where do you think this heads from here?
Yeah, I heard Tom Hardy was done. His contract is up as well. But to me, it felt like he's going to continue with it because he goes at the end. He starts traveling the places that Venom wanted to see, and then ended up at the Statue of Liberty, and he was, kind of teary-eyed and shit, right? And talking to himself, but like trying to talk to Venom. So I think they're both coming back somehow.
I would love that.
That's
Go ahead, Ben. Yeah, when you're done, just give it to Ben.
Go, Ben.
Yeah, I would hope he would continue. I know his contract's up, but he also said in an interview if they wanted him back, he would play the character again.
Good.
And him having wrote these movies, like I saw that what's her name wrote some of them. Daredevil said her name in the comments, Kelly Marcel, and I think her and Tom Hardy wrote this one. So having credit writing something and working on the movies, you can't help but to think you're like, okay, well, they'll probably come back again if like it's something they worked on and they continue to work on and actually liked. Right. And as far as I could tell, he seems to like these movies. So maybe not the second one. Just kidding.
So wasted, too. The second one had Woody Harrelson in it, and it still kind of wasn't that great.
Yeah. But yeah, I think they could continue it. Right now, they're talking about Sony's talking about an Agent Venom movie, which isn't Eddie Brock. It's Flash Thompson as Venom.
Right.
So yeah, if they wanted to, they could just continue with the next Venom host. But I guess we'll see. I would like them to kind of continue the Venom movies or continue Tom Hardy as Venom. But also with Sony messing around with like the MCU and stuff like that, I could also just see them bringing like a different Venom into the MCU to fight Tom Holland Spider-Man and all that. And then like Vision's going to show up and he's going to be Venom. I don't know. Just some nonsense, some MCU nonsense. So that's why I kind of like the Sony movies being separate. You know, it's harder to stand on your own 2 feet if you don't have like 20 characters to count on.
Yes, because jumbling up the cast can really confuse it, right? We didn't have an overload of characters. You get to get character development with Eddie, with Venom, and then you bring in whatever the movie has on their sub characters, right? Like when you got fucking Avengers, there's so many fucking characters, and they did 4 fucking movies. It's like maybe we should reduce those, right? Because the character development sucks because there's too much screen time to share. But anyway, go ahead, Marcos. Where do you think they're going to head?
Well, just on the aspect of Avengers, real quick, that the characters are there, and it sucks to have that many characters. It kind of does it because they already had their on-roll screenplay of themselves. What did you call it? Their character development. Fucking Black Widow had one. Hulk had a couple. Fucking Iron Man had his. Thor had his, and then they slapped them together. So I thought that was really cool that they did that. But for the ending of this one, with having 2 credit scenes on any movie, there's going to be a sequel or a forquel. All right, there has to be. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. And it might never happen because, I mean, somebody might pass away. I get that, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like they have plans and they're just like do with the cockroach and do with that dude going, where am I? Fucking I when I saw that bartender with the long hair walk out of Area 55 and continue on his little path, he, in my first thought was going to walk by the acid drops and fucking where Venom was, and a little symbiote attaches to him and he doesn't know, and he brings it, and then he finally gets him to be like, find Eddie, just do it. And he's like, so he uses him to manipulate his way with his credit card, his fucking finances, his ID to find Eddie, and then they detach and Eddie gets Venom again. Okay. But I couldn't figure out why else he would have been there. Like as a transport in my mind, you know. But yeah, I think there's going to be a sequel. That's my point.
Okay, yes, I think there is too. I know that certain people on the panel got to get going soon, but before we go, round table, and we'll start with Curtis and end with Marcos. Tom Hardy is Eddie Brock because we talked about cast. We got to give him some shine. How do you think? Do you think he's the? What do you think about him as Eddie Brock? Right. Go ahead, Kurt.
Well, right now he's my Eddie Brock. He's definitely growing on me. That's kind of why I want him to come back. I think he's going to come back too. But I like him as Eddie Brock.
I think there need to be at least a portion where we talk about him because he is the main actor, right? He's putting a lot of effort in his mannerisms, the way he walks, the way he talks. But yeah, go around the panel when you're done.
It kind of sounds like him writing into this. He's kind of doing the Ryan Reynolds thing. He's getting involved. Yeah. Well, Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool, you know, he wrote a lot of Deadpool and all this and that, and sounds like Brock's trying to go somewhat that way, or what's his name? Is trying to go that way.
Yeah,
Tom Hardy.
All right.
But
what do you think, Ben?
Yeah, I like him. I think for what he's trying to portray, I know people have talked about in the comics, they're like, well, he's a bad guy and all that stuff, but I don't think these are trying to portray like the Venom versus Spider-Man comic books. It's just like a one-off Venom. And for what he's trying to do, yeah, he does a good job. he doesn't. Plus, I noticed in this movie he has this weird walk. I don't know if you guys have noticed, and it kind of reminds me of the cockroach guy from Men in Black. The way he moves around and stuff.
Oh
like
yeah.
that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Dude,
he's
You
like
nailed
My
it.
head.
Yes.
Like
he's
this.
walking around like he's in somebody
Yeah.
else's body.
Yeah.
It's very
Dude,
I don't know. I appreciate stuff like that, like little tidbits an actor throws in there to make it his own.
That's because the details with anything matter. Details with toys, details with cars, details with life matter. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So yeah, I hope he comes back. He's good Venom.
All right, Marcos, we're me and you are closing this out, so you can answer it with the last question and then your final comments on the show.
Yeah,
Or
man.
get the fuck out.
Eddie Brock, the guy to me is my first interaction with any Venom. I didn't know comics in the Venom in the comics. I didn't know Venom until he was first up. I think I had one from 2017, the white and black one with the fucking Marvel Legends one, fucking long time ago. I've had that picked up at a show, but didn't really know anything about him. So Eddie Brock being on the first one, in the first one, there is no other Eddie Brock because I know no other Eddie Brock, and he does a really good job of what I would say a symbiote attach itself to me, like oh shit, and then use me. That boy's been scared. He was on an airplane, the fucking wind coming up, but in his human form with just the hands. Fucking what's nuts, dude? Could you imagine that? So he did great. He did great in the movie. I did rank it, man. Do you want to do rank real quick? I gave it. Now that after we talked about it, we all have nothing to say. I'd say it grows a point, but I put it at 7.5 to 7.75 with a number 11 movie that we just saw, Transformers 1. To me, and not the fact that it's a cartoon, but the storyline, and it held whatever. But I don't know why it got a low, because I rarely go low on numbers. Usually they're like, oh, it's a 10. But this one I scrutinized with some of my feelings that when I was watching it, that I was like, that's a lot of that dance scene probably dropped it a point.
Yeah, whole point. I was about to say the same thing. Whenever you said rating scale, I was like, I'd rate it about a 7.5.
Yeah, let's throw it in there.
Exactly the same.
Yep, that's what I told M3. I said if Deadpool's a 10, this is like a 7, maybe an 8, depending on who you are.
Cool.
It's definitely, I feel, the best of the three.
Yeah, me too.
So
That's the 3.
when Marcos asked what's your rating, I pulled a number from my mind. It was a 7.5. 7.5 is a
Nice.
respectable fucking number, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
So we're
it is.
all. Kurt's got a 7.8. Ben's got a 7.5. Marcos got a 7.5. I got a 7.5, which is a respectable number. So with that being said, I know Ben's got to get out of here, so we're going to go ahead and shut this short. Kurt, any final words, bro? We'll go around the panel.
Yeah, I got a real quick question. Maybe you can answer this on the next show or whatever, but what do you think if Sam Raimi did a Venom movie?
Oh my god! Yeah, there's a lot to unpack. There's a lot to unpack with that.
Yeah, so that's something. And to let everybody know, Transformers 1 and Beetlejuice is free on YouTube right now.
Wow.
The whole movie.
Cool.
The whole movie.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, Kurt.
All right, Ben, go ahead with your closing statements, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I don't think Sam Raimi should do a Venom movie. That'd be
Yes.
that'd be rough. He said Sam Raimi is like a classic Spider-Man guy. That's if you ever wonder why the Tobey Maguire movies are the way they are, it's because Sam Raimi read the comic books from the 60s and 70s and like none of the other comic books.
Well, he had a lot of stuff put the way they wanted it to as well.
They forced him to put Venom in that movie.
Oh my god, we don't have time to unpack that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Sorry. No, that's a
question,
good
though.
topic. That's a good
It is.
topic. So when we do our favorite Marvel movies, we will touch base on that on our house cleaning. The house cleaning episode. House cleaning is when I get at the beginning and I say some kind of stuff we need to touch base on our previous show. We need to get the same panel going because it's the same chemistry. And we will come back with Bullwinkle 80 and Moto Viper on another show. But when we do our Marvel movie, it needs to be us four because that's you know what I mean. That's what we
I'm down.
meant to do here. So I want to keep that as us four. And no shade to them; they're great guys. I love having them on. We'll see you Sunday night more than likely. But go ahead, Marcos, with your closing statements.
Closing statements. Movie was great. I'm glad to have gone with Chrissy and Maisie. I'm glad to have talked about it with you guys and shit. But cool, Curtis was here, Ben and shit. Fucking thanks for having the show. Pack was fun. Loved it. Oh, shout out chat, motherfuckers. Ex Daredevil was here.
Yes.
Lone Dragon, DFS, Nicholas, motherfucking Mark Cosplay,
Pop the trunk.
Pops,
Pops.
and so
Lone Dragon.
Shadow Slick, Rob 78, fucking motherfucking.
And Donald J. Trump, thank you for showing up. No, I'm just kidding.
Did he have time?
Okay.
Thanks, Pat.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Pat.
no,
Appreciate it.
I want to thank
Nice seeing you
Curtis.
again, Ben.
Hey, nice meeting you, man.
It's too long since we had Curtis on, but it's like I know when there's like a perfect time to have somebody. When Marco said, "Hey, Kurt's seen the movie," I'm like, "Bingo!"
Yeah.
That's what we're having Kurt on. So we got to make this happen. So I'm going to be busting people's balls. I'll be like, "Hey, Ben, when can we do the favorite Marvel movies?" Like, I'm fucking busy. So I'm going to have to bust people's balls and we can fucking get together, dude. Because everybody's fucking busy, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So getting a certain type of people on that have certain chemistry with a certain topic can be difficult. And Daredevil, we did see in the chat. I know in the end you had a lot to say, but we were on a roll, and sometimes the panel members got to be off at a certain time. So I did see you with a lot of your comments. I did not miss them, bro. Don't want you to think we ignored you. But with that being said, bro, hey, fuck it all. Fuck it, but fuck it. I appreciate Kurt, Ben, Marcos as always. It's been 4 years of Through Live Stream. With that being said, we're out.
Old school is here.